Hi there, my name is Matt Cole, co-producer of the Sexperts podcast, along with my great friend Brian Garrity. Before we begin, I just want to give a huge thanks to our guest during this episode, Simon Heseltine. He is a student of the Push Comedy Theater's sketch and improv comedy classes, and he would like to see you at his graduation show on January 15th. Get your tickets online at pushcomedytheater.com. And if you would like to become a student, please go to pushcomedytheater.com and sign up for a class. You can also see Simon in his one-man sketch show, The 5 Best Friends, on January 5th, 2018 at 10 p.m. Push Comedy Theater for Sketchmageddon, the ultimate sketch comedy competition. Tickets are $5. Get them online right now. This is going to be the last and final episode of 2017 for the Sexperts, so Happy New Year! Without further ado, everything you're about to hear is made up on the spot. Please enjoy this episode of The Sexperts!
Computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Data to do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And we're recording, and intro music, and hi there, welcome to The Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alaniz, CPM.
And I'm Delilah. Hey there, avocado whisperer.
That's right. And we are the Sexperts coming to you live from... Whoa! We're actually on the tarmac at the Norfolk Airport, and they are just buzzing by, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of planes, a lot of geese.
We're live, talking to you live from the Norfolk Airport, or ORF, O-R-F.
We are taking ORF.
We're taking ORF. And we're talking about sex, which is great because there's a lot of airplanes. A lot of people get really kind of horny on airplanes. Why not?
ORF sounds like orifices.
That is the most inventive pronunciation of that word I've ever heard of.
I get a little aroused every time I land here.
I gotta feel a tingle in my orifice. Orifices. Okay, but no, let's get serious. So I do want to. A lot of times in our podcast, we talk about fun stuff, exciting stuff, exhilarating stuff, inventive stuff,
controversial.
But sometimes I feel like we were dropping the ball on like the PSA aspect of this podcast.
Yeah, we need to reach out to the people.
Yeah,
and service them via announcement. I'm a certified professional midwife, so that means I have a certificate in midwifery. And I'm an avocado whisperer, which means I hang out in grocery stores in disguise and help people pick perfectly ripe avocados.
So that means we have scientific background. We need to reach out to the public, and we need to save lives today. So that's why our topic of the day today is there's a tickle in my testicles, the 7 first warning signs of testicular cancer. And it's a long one, but
yeah, this is the first 7. We're going to follow this up with 8 through 27.
There's going to be a part 2, so don't worry about that. We'll see how many of those signs we get to, but the first one is actually going to be there's a tickle in my testicle, which a lot of people don't know about, but...
You're getting ahead of yourself. Let's introduce our guest.
Whoa! Here's somebody flying in on their own private jet, and they're oh my God, they're walking up. Well, hi there. He's coming down the steps right now. Hi there. How are you?
Yeah, hello. Yes. Very, very pleased to be here. I'm sure that you're excited to have me on your show.
You're our guest. Wow, I didn't expect you to fly here. Like, you told us to meet you on the tarmac, but...
Well, I spoke to your producer, the rat-faced one, and he'd mentioned that you gentlemen were doing a show, and since, due to the incident, I was going to be here, I should hop on and join your little...
We're so glad to have you. Why don't you go ahead and we've been emailing back and forth with our producer, the rat. I'm not sure the rat face one. Which one you're talking about? A few of them have.
That narrows it down, but it's not enough.
But tell our listeners out there, who are you? What are you about?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure they already know who I am. So Arthur Parker Bowles, character actor, specialist actor, member of the RSC. And the other producer, the one who looks a little bit like John Merrick, had mentioned to me that I should tell you gentlemen an interesting little vignette about myself.
Okay.
In my spare time, I'm an anti-theistic campanologist.
What the hell is that?
Does that mean like you don't believe in God?
Well, yes, but I'm also a bell ringer.
Okay.
So I have a distinct challenge in that the majority of bells in the world happen to be in churches.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a almost a monopoly on bells.
They do indeed. And it just makes it exceptionally difficult.
Even Bell's palsy.
Well, absolutely.
So
Absolutely, yes.
you're challenged with ringing bells, but you're against God. Is that what you are? So you can't go in the churches. You're not like a vampire.
Are you afraid of giving angels wings one by one?
No. It's religion in general, religion overall.
Oh,
Anything religious whatsoever. I'll have no truck with it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. No. So how do you ring those bells? Do you like point an arrow at it and you shoot it and you go ding? Like you're well outside the confines of the church.
Well, that would be one way to do that.
The way I'm picturing is you strap a boombox to your back, you get on a pogo stick, you blare, "You can ring my bell," and you just pogo through the streets of whatever city you're in, banging every bell that you can find that's not attached to a church.
That's a thought. that is indeed a thought. That's
with the helmet on. With the helmet.
Well, obviously, health and safety these days. I mean, the world is PC gone mad.
Well, actually, we can come up with all kinds of theories on how you do it. Like, where'd you just come from? I'm sure you're ringing bells somewhere. Tell us about that experience.
Well, so this is what when I mentioned the incident.
Yeah. What is that incident? Yeah.
So, I actually supposed to be in a pantomime in Ipswich. Playing a particular role in that. And I was down in London trying out for one of these silver screen things, a major motion picture.
Yeah.
And went to Heathrow.
Okay, yeah.
Going to Ipswich, which is, of course, in Norfolk in England. Got on a plane. It's the wrong Norfolk. So,
see, I heard you say incident. I just thought you came back from a string cheese incident tour.
That's old school. Well, I feel like an inconvenience now. Like, this is just like an accident. It's a happy accident. And you can actually, speaking of a happy accident, you can actually help us get the word out there with our PSA today, which is our topic of the day, there's a tickle in my testicle.
Yeah, and there's a one-letter difference between bells and balls. So we are really close to what you were intending to do in the first place.
Well, I see where you're going there. I just want to make sure that your producer did give you my rider.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the producer that looks a lot like Mr. Rogers.
That's the one, yes.
Is that one?
A sickly Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. He actually does have some sort of liver disease. We actually thought this was kind of a joke, because we like practical jokes. Some of the stuff in the writer, unfortunately, we didn't get for you because we thought it was kind of weird, like a...
Yeah, Norfolk's not really a kebab town.
Yeah. So also a gold-plated toilet bowl. That we just can't have that. We couldn't find it.
We're a podcast of meager means.
Well, I mean, can I at least ask that you do respect the one in there about not mentioning the Scottish play?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not even familiar with any Scottish stuff at all.
If it's not at Busch Gardens, Colonial Williamsburg, I don't know about it.
And we did fulfill some of the stuff in your writer because just in case, we thought it was going to be a practical joke, but just in case, we did bring you the bag of Pringles, which is really weird because Pringles come in a can usually, but you specifically wanted them in a bag. The sour cream flavor. There you go.
Well, the challenge with the whole circular box thing that they have, the hands won't fit. I mean,
and you have really large hands, sir.
Some people's hands fit. Is
that why you're a bell ringer?
Exactly. I mean, to be an expert campanologist, one must have large hands.
Is that what they call it? What is a campanologist again?
It's a bell ringer.
Okay. Phew, I'm learning so much today.
That's what we in the bell ringing profession do call ourselves. Well, hobbyists, of course.
Anyway, I'm sure you don't all say like a campanologist, like, a police officer, but usually, the cops or the coppers. What do you guys call each other slang-wise? Instead of bell ringers or campanologists, what is the slangy term for it?
Campies.
Campies. That's good.
Yeah. What's your relationship with bellhops like?
Well, obviously.
Peaceful or sort of like an Israeli-Palestinian thing?
Like a werewolf vampire?
More of a Scottish-English thing. Which is why we tend to build walls between us and them.
A bell ringer and a bellhop. See, you're more direct and they're more passive. They just hop over the bell. You ring it. You just ring it. Take it by the balls and ring it.
Speaking of taking it by the balls,
that was a good transition, I will say.
We owe it to our listening public to hunker down and deal with this topic of the week.
Absolutely. In fact, I do want to read one of, and actually it was in the paper file next to your writer. It's actually a letter from one of our listeners.
I got a question before we get to that.
Yeah.
Underwear technology for men. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got boxers.
Yeah.
Boxer briefs.
Oh, I don't have any of those.
And briefs.
Yeah.
I can't decide which is more comfortable. Like, I want one for while I'm at work, one for while I'm working out, and one for when I'm sleeping. Is that too many pairs of underwear to wear in one day?
What do you prefer while ringing bells? What underwear works for you?
Oh, we don't wear underwear when ringing bells. You've got to be free. You've got to be absolutely free. The clapper has to be, really rattling around in there to really get it moving. And, if you've got that one clapper going, you may as well have everything going.
When you're talking about the clapper, are you talking about your ding dong or the bell?
Or something you turn your lights off with without having to get out of bed?
The ding dong or the ding dong?
Both.
I do. That's great. I'm gonna call my penis a clapper from now on.
I wouldn't. It sounds too much like the clap.
Oh shit. That's true.
Not to over-sexpert you.
So, besides in sexperting and sexpertise, obviously STIs, STDs are an occupational hazard. What are some of the occupational hazards in your line of work?
In my line of work or my hobby?
You can go either way.
Certainly. Well, with the hobby, one of the challenges is getting bell ringers' shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're getting too over exuberant as you're
that's what happened.
Up and down.
That's what happened to the Hunchback of Notre Dame, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's right. It was all his shoulder. His entire right shoulder was like so far up. It looked like a hunch. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, we do have the famous campanology joke. There's just the one. Just the one.
What is it?
Well, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
It's just a big fucking joke.
Well, he got to the point where he couldn't actually lift any bells.
He was useless at that point.
He used to run at the bell and headbutt it. And
that's how he got the flat head.
Well, exactly. But then there was one day he went running straight at it. Yeah. Missed straight out the window, down 20 stories, and they thought smashed on the floor.
They thought it was a suicide, but it wasn't. It was a bell homicide.
Well, so then the one chap says, "Do you know who this is?" Another guy says, "Nobody's face rings a bell."
That is a literal. I just slapped my knee. That is a knee slapper or a bell ringer. That is great.
I just was certain it was going to end with a "for whom the bell tolls," but no.
All right, so that's an occupational hazard for your hobby. Now your profession, because let's dive deep.
Well, I mean, as a specialist actor, I don't actually perform in human roles.
Oh, okay.
I'm more in the animalistic roles.
Oh, like the Lion King, or
more like Othello's dog.
Oh,
in
were you the golden retriever that could dunk? Air Bud?
No, but I in the I Am Legend movie.
Yeah,
I was like the green screen version of the dog as he gets shot.
So wait, Andy Serkis does this stuff too, right?
Yeah, Andy and I do a lot of work together. We really do. Yeah,
he was Supreme Leader Snoke in the new Star Wars. You know that? Actually, it's so weird because like you see people on screen. And you recognize him in one role, but with Andy Serkis, like you recognize him, but it was like, well, that's Gollum, and you're like, oh, Gollum is now in the Star Wars. Like that's weird. Like you're crossing the fantasies there, you know? Am I the only one here?
Well, I mean, the movies these days are the ways you make money. You know, you can be, you can do the plays for as much as you want, but it's all about making the money, and that's where I mean, if Ian can do it, if Patrick can do it. Yeah, even Larry and Johnny went in and did these movies to make money. They sold their soul. So I really don't mind doing this myself.
Well,
Johnny Knoxville.
Yes, Johnny Knoxville.
He's known worldwide. All right, so let's put on a little play ourselves here. I I always have this in my pocket. I carry around if in case of a producer comes out.
You're gonna bring it out now?
Yeah. Because we have an actor here, Yeah. And we
well,
actually have a perfect part for you. There is not only a dog, there's a monkey, and there's a parakeet, all in this script, and it's only one page, so it won't take too long.
And now you're finally gonna get a return on what you paid to get it laminated.
Just to have in my back pocket.
Well, I will say I do have experience. I was in the original Planet of the Apes with Roddy McDowall.
What?
Yeah, I played the dead orangutan at the beginning.
The dead one?
Yes, right at the
Just
beginning.
laid there.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It was a war.
Okay. And war, there are casualties.
War is hell.
So, okay, here we go. Let's act this out. I'll give you... Well, let's all... I don't have a copy, so we all have to read off the same script, but here we go. Och, what are you doing coming into my territory?
I'm here to eat an ear of corn with you.
Ugh, why don't you tell it to my dog?
Woof.
It's a shitty dog you got. He just woofs one time.
Ugh, well, watch me when I stab him in the heart.
Your dog looks dead.
It is. It's the best damn dead dog you ever seen.
More corn for us.
What's that monkey doing in here?
Oh, hey, monkey. What you got to say, monkey? I like that monkey, man.
What's that in your pocket, mate?
It's a parakeet.
Polly wants a cracker. Polly wants a cracker.
It's a talking parakeet.
And that's when the aliens come in an explosion. So it's got legs, right? What do you think? You're in the business.
Well, I mean, to be sure, it's rather short. I'm sure you could fluff it out a little bit, as we say in the business.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, it just looks like something Netflix would buy for about $90 million.
I'm good with that.
It's missing one thing in my mind.
What is it?
Bells. Like a cacophony, a symphony, just tons and tons of bells. Like all the bells you can get with 90 mil.
You were really great, by the way. Like I first doubted, but you were great. Like that dog, when you died, I can see why they hired you for the dead orangutan.
Well, normally I just do the green screen work. They actually dub the sounds in from actual dying dogs.
What if we wrote a movie about a parakeet that rang bells when nobody, like, it flew into people's houses and they didn't know who was ringing the bell and it was freaking everybody out?
I do want to stop you there. This is not a good transition, but I just realized we have 7 things to get through about the warning signs of...
We're gonna have to go straight to 3.
We may have to go down to 3, but just think if somebody is sitting at home right now and there's a tickle in their testicles, what are you going to do? Well, what if they have 3 other these signs?
Don't you think, like, adults who tickle other adults, that's wrong, right?
Well, can I just jump in at this point with one thing?
Yeah.
I do want to... You guys are doing a PSA at this point.
Yes.
Do you mind if I actually jump in with a little bit of a PSA myself?
Absolutely.
As long as it's about avocados, I'm fine.
It can be about anything. It doesn't have to be... Yeah, sorry.
Well, one thing I do want to clear up is a lot of people believe that people with a British accent are inherently homosexual. And I just want to get it out there that that's not the case.
Okay.
Now, admittedly, when I did that play with Ian McKellen, he did make everybody sign that document. But that's just like gay for the play. Apart from that...
That would be a great hashtag.
Hashtag gay for the play. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, this is actually great. So we not only get the testicle thing in there, but we also get the gay for the play thing.
What other podcasts are doing 2 PSAs in one episode?
What other PSAs? Actually, let me run through the file here because we actually have a bunch of they're paying us money to put out PSAs, but they don't pay us enough, like $50 a pop. Let's just go through and go through some PSAs that we haven't done before.
One.
Yeah, go for it. Pull that one out.
It is avocado related. PSA. The sign at the store says soft when ripe. Mm-hmm. Pro tip. Hard 1 or 2 days before ripe, so just go ahead and buy it anyways.
And that's from Avocados for America.
Yeah.
Good job. And thank you for the $10. Roll my eyes. Here we go. Pull out another one. Here we go. There are boy bicycles and there are girl bicycles.
For a reason.
For a reason. That's for Bicycle Gender America, which is... I don't know why that's an association.
It's a conservative Koch brother funded thing.
I have heard that in North Carolina they don't allow transgender bicycles.
The transgender bicycle bill, which was just awful. They lost a lot of money.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Actually, I read an article where you won't do work there. You won't do bell ringing work there because of that whole transgender bathroom bill.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, to tie it all into everything, I mean, for one, I won't go in the churches. and for two, I'm not allowed near parakeets because they do have those little bells in their cages, but I'm not allowed near them anymore.
Are most bell ringers like liberal in their politics? And are most of them gay? Like that's speaking.
Wait. Let's answer the first part, and then we'll get to the second part a little bit.
Well, again, with most bell ringers, they do tend to be theists.
Okay.
So they do tend to be active in their churches, which does tend to make them more on the right of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
Which means that they're hidden homosexuals.
Okay.
Latent. So I do want to get to our topic of the day, which is... Ooh, pardon me.
We're gonna have to go straight to number 6.
Oh yeah. There's a testicle in my tickle. I don't even know. Do you see there's actually a giant... They're loading on cargo. It says bells on it. Bells. I think you have a task to do, my friend.
This may be my personal collection.
I see like a tickle in your eye, like it's flashing. Like you really want to go and just ring those bells, don't you?
I really think I should.
Well, let's just wrap this up. We, unfortunately, let's put on our website. Let's put the 7 signs of testicular cancer on there.
Let's get a website, and then that'll be the first thing that goes on there.
Thank you much, Sir Parker Bowles. Correct. Thank you so much for. Okay, he's already dinging the bells. All right, go. Thank you so much for stopping by. Before you leave, would you like to give any last words, any PSAs, any advice?
Well, I'd just like to try and find your producers and find out where I get my money for the appearance fee.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all the time we have for the Sexperts. I'm your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, CPM.
And I'm Delilah Haydair, and I will see you in the produce section. I'm the guy in the trench coat with the sunglasses.
See you sex time.
Where's my money?
Data to do it simply true, we're the Sexperts.
That's our show. If you like what you heard and you think it was worth $1, join the official Sexperts fan club at patreon.com/Sexperts podcast. A special thanks to the Push Comedy Theater and all of our supporters. Bye-bye.